First things first. Any man here that wants to walk away can do so knowing they're the best of us. But it's gotta be now.
What's the key to portray such realistic characters and to make them believable?
I think for me it's pretty simple. Like trying to do that is just, I don't know how to do it except to just do hard work, to learn, to study with people who do it already, pay attention to people who are really good, and there's no substitute for putting in time and paying attention. It's just not something that you can kind of, or at least I can't fake. I have to really put in the time. And watching all these guys, Oscar and the rest of the cast, invest themselves was also really inspiring. It was clear that no one was going to kind of drop the ball.
For a film like this as well, and the benefit that JC had offered within this, I mean, obviously the story's there, the camaraderie's there, the brotherhood's there, but we all went out to the desert. We had the tactical training, a boot camp essentially, to portray not only these guys, but to have the ability to be, to have the abilities that these special forces guys, soldiers have. I mean, there was no limit to what they could accomplish as a team and as a group together. And so, the stakes of this mission are so high, you have to believe that these 5 guys can, take on something like this and succeed, hopefully.
You cannot go back to your normal life after tonight.
Hablando un poco de cómo preparas el personaje, ¿qué tanto sabes tú de ella que nosotros no vemos? ¿Qué tanto sabes quizá de su entorno, de dónde viene?
Mucho. Yo creo que esa es la parte más importante de la preparación, es lo que no se ve, para tener un poquito de esa esencia en la película, o lo que la gente ve.
The injuries we sustain, we're walking out with.
I think it is ultimately about teamwork, which kind of leads me to think, before taking on a project, is it very important for you to know who's going to be in that project?
Yeah, for me, that's become much more important too. You have a family, and so your time becomes way more valuable. And so to sacrifice that to go off to do something, for me, who's doing it is even more important than what it's going to ultimately be, because that's the time you spend of your life with people. And so you try to find things where you're like, all right, these are friends, and JC I've worked with before. I know Pedro, I know Garrett, and I got to meet Ben and Charlie, who I admire a lot as well. And so that's a very important thing.
I can't believe you just met in this film. It seems like you've known each other forever.
I know, man.
It's been a year now.
Well, yeah, you've known each other forever.
Matt, I had to try to improve. I was like, I'm a much nicer guy.
The question is, do we finally get to use our skills for our own benefit? We're gonna get Gabriel Martin Larrea. He's got over $75 million in cash.
If we're not gone forever after you make your move, we are dead.
These guys are doing this because they want to use their skills for something of their own. How often do you do that with your skills, the skills you have to have a job like this, your acting skills? How often do you use them for your personal purposes?
That's funny. It's really interesting. I've more and more as I go through this journey and start to learn, it takes 10 years just to realize that you don't know anything, and then you start to learn. And I've realized that it's actually the other way around, that the more successful you are at life, your ability to communicate, your ability to create a rapport, your social skills, your ability to endure hardship and stay clear in your mind and focus. Like all of these type of things are actually skills that one should be working on every day in life that make our work exponentially easier.
Everything we've done for the last 17 years, with nothing to show for it.
Like, what happened with Roma at the Oscars, and obviously I'm Mexican. Do you think that film, and being a Netflix film, is a game changer for films like Triple Frontier?
Probably.
Sure. I mean, look, I think anytime, Hollywood or in any world, once you kind of show people, hey, look, we did something excellent, everybody wants to be a part of that, and how could you not want to be part of what, Afonso did with Roma? It's a magnificent movie, and deserves all the accolades that it's gotten. And I think it only reflects really well on Netflix that they picked it up and distributed it and supported it in the way that they did. And I'm sure it's part of the argument that they would make to filmmakers to say, look, we believe in artistic, beautiful movies that aren't necessarily obvious. There's no fighting robots and stuff. You know what I mean? And that's really important. Those movies matter too.
A lot of people are gonna come after you.
So we go through.